The first thing I evaluate when I'm trying to determine what's wrong with a guy's marriage is one of two things. Where is he at on the scale of being way too nice and people-pleasing or being way too far on the bad boy side where he just doesn't give a fuck? You see, most guys, actually all guys, myself included, even back in 2015 when I was a massive piece of people pleaser and nice person, I'm still a nice guy, but I'm not a nice guy in the sense of a people pleaser. For most of the men, if they're too nice, they're too much of a people pleaser, too accommodating to his wife, too accommodating of what it is that she wants, so he doesn't have any effective leadership in the relationship. Or he comes off as too much of a hard ass. He's too crushing it in business, but what's happening is he comes home to a wife who he doesn't connect to at all. And he's like, this is how we're going to go. And if you're a powerful dude, you'll steamroll over your wife. Everything that you want doesn't seem to matter, and she'll be agreeable to you because she's your wife and she cares about you and she loves you. But for whatever reason, when she gets older and the kids start going to college, she starts becoming disagreeable. She just doesn't want to have it anymore. So she'll leave, she'll eject. She's like, I don't need this, I'm going to be with somebody who actually cares. Or if he's in a people-pleasing situation, he's in a situation where his wife is lacking massive amounts of leadership from the guy. And he has no idea what that even means. So on one hand, you've got a guy who doesn't even know how to lead his relationship. And then on the other hand, you've got another guy who just steamrolls over his wife and doesn't really look at for what she wants. You've got two ends of the spectrum. Too nice or too much of a bad boy. And you got to have both as an equal measure. You have to be able to lead your relationship with power and conviction and certainty in a way that she feels connected with you, that you are putting her feelings in consideration of what you're doing. Don't always put them first, but they're always in consideration. They're always top of mind. You're always thinking about how it's going to actually affect your wife versus the nice guy who only thinks, I better not do anything to upset my wife. It's okay to disagree with her. And in fact, you should. All the best things that come out of a relationship come from collision. But if you're afraid to collide with her because you're too nice, then you're never getting anything solved. And she won't feel that leadership from you. She won't feel the boundaries of you. She won't feel what she can get away with or not get away with you. In fact, she'll just realize that she can do anything she wants to you. Or if you're on the other end of the spectrum and you're this dude who is a high performer and just steamrolls over his wife, she's going to feel like she's invisible to you. And she'll start complaining that you work too much or that you don't care about her or that you just never listen. So the first thing we do is we determine where he's at on the scale. Is he being too nice or is he being too much of an ass? And what we have to do is we want to have both of these things. We have to have both of these things in order for the relationship to work well. A lot of the bad boy behaviors over here are actually very attractive. His assertiveness, his dominance, his ability to go out there and produce, his ability to dominate other men. Those are good things, but you don't want to be able to apply that to your wife. She's not your adversary. And on the nice guy end of the spectrum, there's a lot of things that's good too. The willingness to connect, the willingness to hear her, the willingness to accommodate what's going on with her and to see and try to hear and understand who she is. But if she doesn't respect you, if she doesn't trust you in that way, she's not going to be attracted to you. Unfortunately, a lot of the nice behaviors, which are good for a good relationship, aren't actually attractive. She's not attracted to this nice guy. She's attracted to the bad energy of this guy. But she needs this guy over here, this nice guy, in order to trust what's really going on with him. In order to trust that his bad boy isn't going to dominate his entire life and she's forgotten. That's the whole point of it. We have to find out where he's at on the continuum and measure from there. If I know where the guy is at on the continuum, it's easy to find out what he wants. Most guys want to have a healthy relationship with a woman who is his perfect woman. 2, that guy wants to live a life of purpose and conviction in relation to God and make good money doing it. And 3, he wants to be a good example to his children so they can follow in his footsteps. If this continuum is out of balance, the relationship is going to fall apart. If the relationship falls apart, we know that he's not going to leave a lasting legacy with his kids. The traumas of the relationship are going to propagate down to his children and his children's children and so on and so forth, just like they probably happened to him growing up. And in fact, he probably attracted a wife that was much like him as well on the other end of that spectrum where her traumas were coming down also. But the man, by default, being the leader of the relationship, has to be the guy to put an end to this. And if you see this happening in a relationship, you realize that that guy is you. It's not going to be anybody else. It's not going to be me. It's not going to be the government. It's not going to be your parents. And it certainly as shit, it's not going to be your kids. It's going to be you. If you want to save your family, you have to be the hero. You're the one who has to tap into your indomitable spirit and decide that this has to end. So if you want to do this, if you want to end this today, text me right here below at this number. We'll get clear on what's going on with you and your situation, and we'll see if we can help you out.